All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. And as you guys could probably already tell, yes, I am still in recovery. Probably will be over the next couple days. So if you don't like the nasally sounding voice, you guys can avoid the channel for the next couple days. For those that want to keep consistent with the updates, then hey, you guys can still watch the channel. But with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So if you do hold XRP, XLM, HBAR, or even CSPR, or any altcoins basically, this video is going to be very, very important. So let's start off with the overall market, because for the last roughly 7 days or so, things have been heating up. This is Bitcoin in the last 7 days. Off of the lows, 62K or so. I know that we wicked down lower, sub 60K, and then we start to surge to where we are at now, which is almost 69K. We did hit 69 roughly on a few exchanges. I know that this is showing a little bit shallow there, but for the most part, yes, we did hit it. I'm going to chart Bitcoin in a moment, but as we do look at most of the altcoin market, things are still kind of slow. Even on the last 7 days, not much movement in the top 100. Even if we look at the top gainers and losers in the top 500 in the last 7 days, again, these are not significant gains across the board when it comes to altcoins. So, as we look at that, where are we at right now cyclical wise? Well, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, altcoins, and even alt season are not moving at all when it comes to Google Trends, which means interest around these topics are still at all-time lows. The number one thing that I want everyone to realize is that retail participation is still at all-time lows. Most people are not investing into crypto. They're jumping into silver, they're jumping into gold, they're still in stocks because stocks have been hitting, all-time highs. And also money market funds, right? Money market funds still trading at massive amounts of money. I think that the last time I looked, it was like 6.3 trillion in there. So, they continue to hit all-time highs in values. And this is because everyone's kind of just overlooking crypto. And this typically happens, right? Crypto lags behind. But this is why you should focus on what stocks are doing, what gold is doing, what silver is doing, because as crypto is lagging, it'll have to play catch up. So as we look at the trends, yes, Bitcoin is still pretty flat. Very similar back here to like 2020, right? You have that nice spike up, which we already had that nice spike up here. And then it went flat, and then all of a sudden we had that massive surge in interest. I do believe that that's going to be the same thing happening here for Bitcoin. Same thing with crypto, right? Crypto is in the same exact boat where it's pretty flat right now after having a nice little spike. So we are just waiting for this thing to go crazy to the upside where interest is at all-time highs. Same with cryptocurrencies, has been flat since going all the way back to like roughly 2021. So we're waiting for this thing to jump as well. And altcoins. So if you have been wondering why altcoins have been dead, they've been flat, they haven't been moving much, this is why. Interest is still at all-time lows. So until we start to see retail interest coming back, we most likely will not have a massive run-up in the market beyond all-time highs. And when I say that, what I really mean is that we might hit all-time highs again on, like, for example, Bitcoin. But when it comes to altcoins, that won't happen until the hype comes back. And typically that does happen when we hit all-time highs on Bitcoin. So as we are waiting for Bitcoin to do its thing, the big hype machine comes when mainstream media is talking about how Bitcoin is surging to a new all-time high, and that BlackRock's talking about it, this player's talking about it, that player's talking about it. So that's going to bring back the retail crowd to push altcoins higher. Now, outside of this, yes, we have over here breaking whales are accumulating Bitcoin at unprecedented rates. And if you actually look at this chart, it's pretty obvious, right? We are most likely going to have a big run up here soon for Bitcoin. I would argue that it's probably going to happen before the end of the year. And when I say that, I mean Bitcoin is probably going to hit roughly around 84K to almost 100K within that time frame. So that's pretty much the target zone for Bitcoin. and all the writing is on the wall. The data is already there. All you have to do is follow it. Now, I also put out a post regarding this. This goes back to October 12th. Again, it's the 18th. For the longest time, I keep telling you guys in videos that the first half of October was going to be slow, was going to be pretty rough. We go back over here, right? Let's go back to the 1 month. This is the beginning of October. Boom, sell off. It's pretty rough. All of a sudden, by the middle of the month, we start to have this nice run up, which is something that I told you guys. Watch for the second half of October to be very bullish. And guess what? So far, we played accordingly to plan. I said now is the time to lock in. Over the next few weeks, this market is expected to erupt with the improvement of liquidity. The net Federal Reserve liquidity just decreased by $100 billion in Q4 after decreasing by almost $340 billion in Q3. The last two times we saw this, the crypto market erupted. For example, January to April of 2023 and around October 2023 to February of 2024. But wait, that's not the end of the story, because we also have the debt ceiling deadline incoming on January 2nd, 2025. We just got the announcement that China is issuing 2.3 trillion yuan in special bonds to boost stalling economy. In the US, we are about to see the Fed injecting heavy amounts of liquidity into the economy similar to China. With increased liquidity, FTX repayments, and stablecoins, and over 6 trillion in money market funds, I'm expecting this space to erupt over the coming weeks. Now, again, this was on October 12th. Let's go back to Bitcoin on October 12th. Here we have it, just trailing around 63K roughly. This is into the end of roughly the 13th. And then by the 14th, we start to have that nice surge in the market. This is because liquidity is improving. People are realizing that. Traders are realizing that. So they are buying in because they know that the market is going to move. And as we look at Bitcoin, this is the overall chart setup right now. Currently trading above this upper trend line, which is very bullish because we need to actually break over this trend line, get a nice daily close over it, which would be very, very crucial. A weekly candle close over this would be a massive moment for Bitcoin, just so that you guys know. But this is what the daily chart looks like. Again, this is what I charted in the Discord going back to around roughly like the 10th or so. I said that we're just going to pretty much range it here until we get that big breakout. Once we got that big breakout, it was a nice impulsive move. We broke over the previous high, making a higher high. We have a fake out here. Also, by the way, the fake out, nice little higher low going all the way back to the September 6th candle. So going all the way back to August, we've been making higher lows, and now we have been making higher highs. So this is a nice little higher high short term. What we want to actually do is break over this high going back to July, and also going all the way back to June, even May, and then also March, because that would be the macro higher high. That's what we want to really kind of wait for and see if we can do that this week, because if we could do it by this weekly candle close, that would be a huge moment. By the end of the month, we should have a clear sign on where we're going. I wouldn't write off the idea of us actually rejecting a little bit, trading off, ranging a little bit more, and then finally getting that nice impulsive move. So we just have to be a little bit cautious. We are playing with a weekend price action right now. But the reason why I say, like, if you're holding XRP, XLM, HBAR, Casper, any altcoins, focus on this, right? Alt season. This is the alt season index versus Bitcoin. Right now, we're still in a Bitcoin season because of Bitcoin dominance. If we go all the way back here to like roughly January 2024, that was the last time that we were technically in altcoin season. But you might say, all right, well, Nick, does that mean that we already had alt season? Not exactly, right? If we go all the way back here to 2020 to 2021, back here was August of 2020. We were in the same exact area before having a nice little, change in scenery to a Bitcoin season. Just like typical, cycles, this is exactly how it works. And then this started to surge all the way into April, May of 2021, where most of the market did actually top out. And then that led us into the bear market. So just like we are right now, we have that nice spike up January 2024, similar to like August 2020. And then now we're just waiting for this thing to build back up into altcoin season, which should be our official alt season. This is where altcoins do go absolutely parabolic. And this is why I do think that you should be prepared, especially if you do hold a lot of altcoins. Now, the big thing is what happens after all of this is said and done. Well, I do think that a financial crisis is on the horizon. I also did warn everyone about this over on X. I said, this market, along with stocks, will melt up. And this goes back to the 17th. The thing that I told everyone to focus on is the data. I said it just makes sense comparing it to previous time periods where we were, facing a macroeconomic storm as we are now. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to tell that we are going to be facing a serious problem in 2025, 2026. Just take a look at what's happening right now. And this is the, macroeconomic outlook. If you guys want to pause the video real quick and read these, this is what happened over the last, just couple weeks. We have major banks warning us, 500 billion added to the debt just, the last month alone. I mean, this is crazy. So, as we really look at this, right, these are the signals that, yes, we are going to melt up. Just like 07, 08, we will most likely melt up, just to melt down. So, I said here that markets tend to melt up, which causes the big FOMO event to happen, where a majority get trapped and then wiped out. I foresee this happening again, as everyone is still blindsided by the warning signs. It's election year, and we are on the edge right now of the big events, while debt is surging and markets are looking a bit more bullish. I don't think we have much time left until the melt-up officially happens, and it won't last as long as most anticipate. So that's the thing to focus on, right? Alt season only lasts about roughly 3 to 6 months. So once we start to see this trailing to the upside, that's where it begins, right? The second that we leave this Bitcoin season, that's when we really look at altcoins and we start to really kind of count the days. Because roughly 36 months. Even if we go back here, right? Let's go all the way back to 2020 to 2021. Here we have the end of December. This thing starts trailing to the upside. January, right? January, February, March, April. By May, that's 5 months. Most of the market is already topped in terms of altcoins. XRP doesn't make a new high versus its, I think, April high. Most of the market is done. Then we have June, July, August, roughly 8 months. September, 9 months. October, 10 months. And then November is 11 months. But most of the altcoin market topped around this time. Yes, we had some nice impulsive moves around September, October, November, but most of the market was done here. So I really kind of look at roughly 3 to 6 months as being the adequate time frame to be taking a lot of profits. Once we start to see alt season officially begin, you'll know that alt season is officially beginning once we start to see Bitcoin dominance dropping. And at that time, you really want to start preparing accordingly and taking some profits off the table. How do we prepare when we are facing a financial crisis? Well, it doesn't, hurt to have some money parked in money market funds. Having some cash on the sidelines. I think that a nice percentage allocated towards cash is a very solid strategic way of going about this. But also, looking into, preparing accordingly when we start to see prices going up around even, necessities. So, prepare around necessities as well, buy necessities. But when it comes to investing money, you want to wait until the dust settles. So think about 07, 08. Nobody wanted to touch real estate. Nobody wanted to touch things for a little bit of time until the dust settled. And during that time, cash will be king. So, having a strong allocation towards cash is not a bad idea. Holding some utility projects, a certain percentage in them, is not a bad idea as well for the long-term path ahead. I always say, keep a solid bag on the sidelines that you are not going to sell because you never know what's going to happen. So, for me personally, I'm preparing by allocating a percentage of my portfolio in cash, holding a lot of these utility projects, probably keeping about 30% in them. And then after that, mainly just really kind of looking at real estate, maybe even some gold after the dust settles. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on for guys more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.